What is going on, everybody? Welcome in. We're back. It's Lineman Life Live on Wednesday, Hump Day. Hoping everybody out there is getting over that hump because it's the midweek grind. And I'm telling you, we had to grind for sports stories.
Boy, there was some slim pickings out there.
It was the slimmest of pickings. I mean, I had to go dig deep. But we got some stuff for you good folks here today. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already done so. And join the channel as we will be starting our fantasy football league next week. Yes, sir. Fantasy football is coming next week. If you want to be a part of it, join the channel. We will automatically enter you or give you the link for our fantasy football league. And we'll be having our draft. I'm not sure when the draft is supposed to be for fantasy football, but we'll be having it. We'll figure it out, and we'll get you guys all the info y'all need for that. But today, we've got some drama in the Twitterverse to start with. Somebody that we often malign in our commentary in sports. Well, he's at it again, y'all. He is at it again. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The old witty wit, Jason Whitlock. My God. Jason Whitlock and David Portnoy, the founder of Barstool Sports. Boy, these boys are locked in an online squabble that, I mean, honestly, I don't really know what the fuck it's about. But a lot of people are investing themselves in talking about it. We got a video from TYT Sports we're going to look at. But before we do that, I got a video that actually Jason Whitlock just dropped this video on Twitter.
Oh, shit.
I mean, this dude is, I mean, it appears that he is going at your boy David Portnoy's neck. He going at his neck. So we're going to take a look at this video real quick. Now, again, like I said, I really don't know exactly what I don't know exactly what the issue is here between these folks. I think I saw something about them being mad at David Portnoy for being like pro-choice or something. And now it is spilled out into a whole online squabble. But David Portnoy, Jason Whitlock, that's all we can find on the Wednesday, y'all. Let's go.
Dave Portnoy is a sellout. I said it yesterday, and I'm saying.
Hold on.
Like, why would anyone hold him to any kind of standard? Like their whole kind of niche is like not against
people off.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like what kind of character is he supposed to have?
I mean, it's totally ironic to me that of all people, Jason Whitlock is calling David Portnoy a sellout.
Oh, man. Pot, kettle.
Pot, meat, kettle. Yeah. Jason Whitlock.
Like,
you have
is Barstool
basically
Sports...
been disowned by black people. Like, what are you talking about here, my guy?
Yeah, I don't think Barstool Sports is like a harbinger of, civil discourse or, why would he bring people together?
These guys gamble on sports and they jump through tables with Buffalo Bills fans. I mean, their whole niche is to be a disruptor of the status quo in sports coverage and commentary. Like,
they're just here for a good time.
They just here for a good time. That's it. But you, of all people, with the picture of Abraham Lincoln in the back, Martin Luther King in the back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The mug shot, no less.
The mug shot. I mean, of course, it's so on brand for Jason Whitlock to have the mug shot. The mug shot of MLK.
Of all the good photos.
Of all the photos they got of this cat. That's the one you picked. The mug shot. But for you to call somebody a sellout, that is like, that's actually like befuddling a bit to me. It's like, what? What? You know what you've done, right? What are you talking about?
Saying it again. He has no interest in bringing people together. His interests are in lining his pockets. I'd have no problem with it if he just admitted he's the white LeBron James. It's great.
What? I mean, that doesn't make sense. First off,
wait, what?
LeBron James is a world-class athlete who has a plethora of talents that David Portnoy could only wish to have and probably would love to have. I would love to have him. Shit.
Fuck
The
yeah.
athleticism of LeBron James, I'd take it.
I
mean, he's a billionaire because of it. I mean,
is he saying like LeBron's philanthropy is just to make money?
Yeah, and that's so.
I mean,
LeBron has already done more for the black community in his own home city.
His school has like 100% kids go to college.
Exactly. Like he is far beyond anything Jason Whitlock can approach with such slander.
Now, I'm pretty sure those kids aren't paying anything to go to. Was it the Promise School?
Oh no, I think they said LeBron pays for that. Like I think he pays like $10 million a year on that. Something crazy. He pays a year for that school to be open for those kids.
Now, does he make something off the back of that? Somewhere else?
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm sure.
Does it get him some goodwill?
Yes, I'm sure he does.
Yeah, does it get him some goodwill somewhere else? Sure. I mean, that's just the nature of human existence. Like, show me someone that's doing shit solely, for the benefit of others out of the goodness of their heart and not profiting in any way.
And also, just real quick on LeBron, I'm not even a LeBron fan. I am not a LeBron fan, but I would be a fool not to acknowledge that LeBron James is probably. I would argue he is probably the most unoffensive in terms of just his career and the fact that he's never been in any kind of legal trouble. You've never heard his name being mentioned in the public sphere in any kind of in a negative way in regards to something he's done publicly, something he's done in his general day-to-day life. He hasn't been involved in any kind of negative behaviors on his behalf. And regardless of what you think about his politics or his perspective on things in the world, the guy has actually contributed back to society in ways that many people could not even really grasp. Like he does a lot for his community. He does a lot for the culture. He does a lot for, those who he does business with. He's a very well-rounded entity in and of himself. I mean, the guy's he's a billionaire. He's made a billion just working. I mean, that's not the guy you want. I wouldn't look at LeBron and call him a sellout by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, now, is he like off base on some of his opinions? Sure.
Yeah. Like, is he upset that it's like public that he's doing these things?
I don't even know. I mean,
if you don't, then people are going to be like, oh, what are you doing? And it's only our people. Oh, what you doing in the community?
Hey, man, I'm telling you, it's this self-hate shit that this cat Jason Whitlock promotes all the time. Like he is anti-black, and he's black. I mean, what is he? And nobody's. I'm not even like trying to come from the tip that you got to talk about what you do in the community, because nobody, you do that out of the goodness of your heart. You don't need to. You shouldn't need, validation from the public about what you do in any kind of philanthropist style work. Like, you shouldn't look for media coverage on that. Even if as a public figure, but in general, in anybody's daily life, you don't go around telling people what you do for somebody else's goodwill. You just do it because you want to help somebody, right? So I'm not going to sit here and ask him to put up what he's done, but that would be the question that would come to mind when you call LeBron James a sellout. Well, if he's a sellout, you tell us what you've done. So you can prove that you've actually contributed to society in a meaningful way.
Where the Jason Whitlock school at?
Yeah, where's the Jason Whitlock school at? Where's the Jason Whitlock fucking hunger drive where you're feeding homeless people? Where's that at?
How many kids you putting into college?
How many people have you? Exactly. Like, get out of here. What are you doing?
Now, granted, obviously, this guy's not a billionaire, but still.
Look, we're 18 seconds into this, and you can already see from two black men why nobody fucks with this guy. We're telling you why. Like, this guy is the anti-black. He is the Uncle Ruckus of the real world. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I apologize for my outburst. Like, that's who he is.
Oh, you got the revitiligo.
You know what I mean? The revitiligo. He went white, then turned black again. I mean, it's annoying to listen to this dude because he is, I mean, God. All right, let's just keep going.
Great Portnoy raised money for small businesses. It's great LeBron spent $1 million on a school in Akron. It's good marketing. It's terrific public relations. It creates the appearance that Portnoy and James haven't forgotten the little guy.
But that's exactly what it is. It shows that they haven't. I mean, they literally put their money where their mouth was.
Right.
So what is he talking about here? This doesn't make sense.
Was it not enough money? It's not enough money for this guy.
Clearly not. Something about this is just not enough. And again, it's like I said, when you spend your whole life looking for validation from people who ain't your people, the only thing that gets you that validation is to, in fact,
shit on those people.
Shit on your people. Because everybody's part of their own tribe here. Like, I love everybody, but look, I'm not going to talk bad about the people that I have most of my life experience relating with. I'm not going to talk bad about them for the betterment of somebody else. Even if I don't like what's going on in certain aspects of the culture, I'm not going to talk bad about the people for nobody else. I wouldn't expect them to do that for theirs.
Right.
But this dude, I mean, he is over here. I mean, just listen. I mean, it just sounds like somebody who's just so like bitter. He sounds bitter. That's what he really sounds like.
Did somebody come after him? Why is he even speaking on this?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, we're gonna get into it because I think this TYT video that we're gonna look at after this, that actually it has the chronological order of the beef because I don't know
because they don't even even serve the same like spears at all. I don't see how
they're not even in the same. Well, you know what? Well, I will say this: Jason Whitlock covers sports. He covers sports for the Blaze. Look, the Blaze comes from Dallas, Texas. Hey, again, I apologize. I'm from Dallas. I didn't come up with the LLC for that. But he is, the Blaze commentators, especially when it comes to sports, their central narrative when they talk about any kind of black athletes in sports is to associate them with being like non-American, unpatriotic, this and that. That's their thing. Tommy Lauren was somebody who was part of the Blaze, and she gained her fame through that on Colin Kaepernick. And here you have Jason Whitlock. He goes after LeBron James all the time. He talks about black on black violence all the time as if it's the only violence there is in the world. And, whenever it comes to matters of the culture, he is first and foremost on the anti-culture side of the argument above everything. I mean, if you give him a box of shoe shine, he will shine the boots of a white person to get their approval. That's how much this dude is like. And look, I'm not trying to make any point about white people. I'm just trying to make a point about the delusion that he lives in. Because I don't see I don't give a damn about what somebody's race is when it comes to dealing with anybody or being capable of communicating or befriending or being, in association with anybody. But I'm not going to place anybody else above my own principles or my own standards. But he does that just by the way that he talks about his own community. He is degrading the community in favor of a business that is not associated with his community, that he works for, that he gets a check from. And to me, that's the epitome of a fucking coon, of a sucker ass motherfucker. And I can't fuck with him.
Hey, I don't know if you heard, I don't shine shoes no more.
Good fellas. I don't know if you heard, but I don't shine no shoes no more. Don't get your fucking shoe box.
Fucking shine box.
Ooh, yeah, there you go. Nice little
oh man.
Nice little movie reference there. Hey. Goodfellas, for those of you who know where that quote comes from. No, I love Dallas, man. We're from Dallas.
We're both from the same area.
Like, we're from the same area. Like, I love the life I had growing up there. I mean, I couldn't ask for nothing better, to be honest. But, as an adult who is, who has knowledge now, years after being from living in Dallas, you see the world through different lenses. And, Texas is going through a rough fucking time right now. Not gonna lie. Texas is looking rough right now. Rough.
Got out just in time.
And a couple years ago, Texas was that's where everybody was moving to. People were going back to Texas from the West Coast, because the living situation was better there. That was kind of right before pandemic time. But I mean, not, and it's not really the pandemic. It's just the discourse from Texas is just, it's backwards, to say the least right now. It's not the best, in my opinion. But
Florida Junior.
Let's continue. Let's get through this video. I mean, it's so egregious, some of the shit that this guy's saying, that it's hard to get through the video. That's why I can't listen to this guy.
The best thing you can do to support the working man and woman is defend the Constitution. The document isn't remotely outdated. It created the freedom and opportunity that we all benefit from 200 years after its ratification. Dave Portnoy benefited from our Constitution. Now that he's made it rich, he's good with rewriting the rules, regulations, and systems that allowed him to rise.
What?
What is he talking about?
I'm lost.
You know what? Let's go to this video.
Yeah, maybe this other video can give us some context.
Because I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I mean, he hasn't clued me into what this beef is actually about yet. But let's take a look. This is from TYT Sports. Shout out to Rick Strom. Let's see here. Let's start this off, because I need help on this. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what. And really, before we do that, I gotta reset my camera real quick, because the battery's about to pop off on it. Hold on.
Clarence Thomas. That's too good.
All right, we're good. All right, let's look at this video to get a little bit of context here, because when you got a beef with somebody, usually you present that beef and you talk your talk from there. He didn't do any of that. So let's see how this all played out.
Dave Portnoy, El Presidente, is a fraud. He has no core values, no defined set of beliefs.
The Blaze's host, Jason Whitlock, has mastered the art of projection.
He has no redeeming qualities other than his wealth. Remove his money, and he wouldn't have a friend in this world. If we weren't living in an era completely hostile to masculinity, Portnoy would be broke.
Completely hostile to masculinity?
I mean, how many cats only have friends because they're rich? I mean, I'd wager that most billionaires wouldn't have friends if they weren't rich.
Yeah, true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. All right.
Definitely wouldn't be getting any ass.
Broken Boston delivering pizza.
The whole reason Whitlock is going after Portnoy, do you know?
AOC, my favorite big booty Latina. I love you, AOC. You're my favorite. You look very beautiful in that dress. You look very sexy. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina. Look how sexy she looks in that dress. Woo, I love it, AOC. Hot, hot, hot like a tamale.
A desperate misogynist. A doof.
Oh my God. I ain't gonna front. AOC did look good in that dress.
Yeah, it's the best I've seen her look.
But she looked good. But I mean,
I wouldn't have done all this, but
for real, what is all that for? You over here simping.
I mean, being the best looking person in that building is like being the tallest midget.
I feel like it's a joke, but
yeah, I mean that's their shtick is, you know, don't take it serious.
He's trolling her. Yeah, he's trolling her. But I mean, hold on, let me back up. I mean, she do look good though. I ain't gonna front.
Big booty Latina. Look how sexy she looks in that dress.
But I wouldn't be yelling it out like
that. Hot, hot, hot like a tamale.
A desperate misogynist. A doofus.
He said it with the Spanish accent too. Like he ain't Spanish. The hot tamale.
Like, what? Hey, you don't know that man. He might be. I mean, if Canelo Alvarez walked up on you, you wouldn't think he was, you know, Mexican.
Yeah, you wouldn't. But this
guy is not Canelo Alvarez.
This dude is definitely not Mexican.
Whose name is Alex Stein, happens to be employed at the Blaze, which makes him a co-worker of Jason Whitlock's.
For you today, Alex Stein, primetime 99, always on the grind. It's gonna be in his house.
Cringe. As for Stein, very cringe.
QAnon conspiracy troll and used car salesman Alex Stein sexually harassed Representative AOC on the steps of the Capitol. He comes from a wealthy part of Dallas, Texas called Highland Park, where most of Stein's high school classmates found him annoying, immature, and, you guessed it, desperate for attention. The main reason that Stein has been...
Wow.
This guy from Highland Park. Highland Park is, look.
That's a really Dallas, nice area.
Highland Park is probably the highest valued area. That might be the most highest valued area in North Texas.
That's that old money too.
That's that old Dallas, like the TV show oil money.
Like you and I can't even move up in there.
Hell no. They would be like, motherfucker, what does this look like? Does it look like we let black people live here? No, we ain't approving a goddamn thing free. They wouldn't give Michael Irvin a house there. Shit.
So all the Cowboys live in Plano in South Lake.
For real, yeah, they over there in Plano. But no, Highland Park is like.
I think
Highland Park is where the houses start at like $5 million.
I think Jerry lives up in there because
Jerry up in there. Yeah,
his grandson was the quarterback for Highland Park recently.
Yep.
But yeah, nice area. Woo.
No, it's that's a super nice area. So if he's from there, he definitely comes from some real bread. Real bread.
Did Matthew Stafford go to Highland Park?
Who?
Matthew Stafford? I think he went to Highland Park. I think he's a Scot.
Is he?
I believe so.
Wow. Yeah, no.
I mean, I know he's from Dallas, but I'm pretty sure.
I thought he was from Plano. I thought he was. No, he wasn't. You would have known. You would know if he was from Plano.
Yeah,
I don't. Let me see where he's from real quick. Let's see where.
Yeah, we don't have any big time quarterbacks really. I mean, Kyler Murray's from Allen, which is right across the street from us.
Matthew Stafford. I mean, his Wikipedia is saying he was born in Tampa, Florida. Early life. Let's see. Yeah, Highland Park High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
So he didn't need to play. He didn't need to play in the NFL.
Yeah, he definitely didn't even like that NFL thing is just for fun. That was just for fun for him. All right, let's keep it going.
Is thanks to Texas House Bill 2840, which requires governmental bodies to give time to public speakers. And as a result, Stein has exploited this rule to spread misinformation, conspiracy theories, and transphobia. And because of those stunts, his videos have gone viral and he has been welcomed on right-wing shows like Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson, which helped build his platform as a troll. Alex Stein was also a former contestant on different reality TV shows, though not that anyone would even notice since each of his appearances were very short-lived. In 2012, Stein was a contestant on the reality TV show The Glass House.
At the end of the day, I'm a good guy.
It should come as no surprise that Stein also sexually harassed a female contestant while he was on the show. And by the end of the first episode, almost every contestant voted him off the show.
Jeez!
While he was on the show. And by the end of the first episode, almost every contestant.
Only one other person get
everything
you need to know.
Get one vote. Everything you need to know there.
This here is not a good look.
So in lieu of
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 out of 12 voted for you. And not in the good way.
Right.
Not in the good way.
In lieu of an actual personality, he just does all this shit.
But look though, still, we don't know what this fucking beef is about.
True.
We don't know what it's about still.
Let me just pile on a person with a huge following. See if I can get a couple. See if I can poach a couple.
Portnoy, look, I don't watch Barstool Sports or nothing, but I knew they were big when Deion Sanders left the NFL Network to go work for Barstool Sports. That's when I knew he was big time. So, I mean, hey, I don't care that he was a Trump supporter necessarily because he's really he is a capitalist more than anything from what I could tell.
What little I've seen on him.
I don't keep up with what he does, but I know that every time I see them making a move, it's about money, which, I mean, hey, if you're running a business, sports business, it's probably the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Get on your bread.
I'll say
on your bread.
I have yet to see Jerry Jones pass up on $1.
Jerry Jones owns half the teams in the NFL. You don't even know about it yet, bro. He owns half the teams. I mean, I ain't mad at that. I'll never be mad at that. If opportunity presents itself for you to advance your business, then I'm not going to be mad if you do what you need to do to advance it. But I mean, to me, that's different what he's doing than, somebody like this cat who's making his money off of being a troll. Because that doesn't really provide, you're not providing anything that's really of use to society. Now, full disclosure, because I'm not gonna keep secrets from you guys. This dude has actually reached out to me about doing work with him. Alex Stein. He wants to do football drills and videotape it. Videotape me pass setting him.
He might serve you up.
You got me fucked up. I'll be in the gym for a month straight before I do that shit. I told him I'd do it. I said, because this is what happened. Alex Stein said some shit on Twitter. I don't remember what he said, but he was trolling. And I got triggered. I was like, fuck this motherfucker. And I wrote a reply. And his reply to me was, hey, I would love for you to come on my show and do a football bit with me. Like, he didn't even hear what I said. He just started asking me about this. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, it'd be awesome. And then he starts talking about dates. He hit me up. He followed me on Twitter. And then he sent me a message and he started asking me about dates. And at this point, I'm like, is this motherfucker being serious or is he trolling me? Because if he's trolling me, I'm not going to respond because he's not putting no DMs with me online for people to look at.
Right.
But he was serious. And now I know somebody who knows him. Personally. So I hit that person up and was like, hey, hit this guy up and ask him if he's being serious before I respond to this shit, because I was talking shit to him. And now he's wanting to do business. So if he's wanting to do business, hey, I can roll back my shit talk for a second and we can do some business. So my guy hit me back and said, no, he's serious. He said he's serious. I'm like, all right, we'll bet. So I responded to him, and I'm gonna be doing a bit with this cat. And if we're gonna do it here in Atlanta, then I mean, shit. Really, I'm gonna see if Justin, you might want to get some sets in on the incline. I'll be like, shit. We can have him run drills against us, shotgun, machine gun style, just back to back, just flat back this chunk. So Alex Stein, I'm probably gonna be doing something with him on his show on the Blaze. But that again goes to show, hey, I'm a capitalist when it comes to my business. I'm gonna try and get that bread.
Far be it for me to turn down a butt.
And trying to grow this brand, trying to grow this with what me and Justin are doing. Yeah, that'll be something I would take advantage of because that'll get viral clicks. So again, I ain't mad at nobody who's trying to get their money, but also you don't want everybody looking at you as a fucking asshole either. You don't want to be looked at as an annoyance to society. You know what I mean? So
if you're pancaking an asshole, maybe that's okay.
Yeah, that's more fun for me. If I can pancake an asshole, I'll do that. I'll do that. But I'm not I don't operate in that zone of being the asshole because that to me is that's just different. That's not something I can rock with. But let's continue on.
And voted him off the show.
It certainly does seem like Jason Whitlock and Alex Stein are birds of a feather. After all, Whitlock had this to say of the GOAT Serena Williams. With a reduction in glut, a little less butt, and a smidgen more guts, Serena Williams would easily be as big as Michael Jackson, dwarf Tiger Woods, and take a run at Rosa Parks. Then he would wrongfully critique Serena further. She'd rather eat half-ass her way through non-major tournaments and complain she's not getting the respect her, at the time, 11 major championships demand. She complains about being ranked number 2 in the world at the time when she's not bitching on Twitter on her blog about new rules that forbid Wimbledon players from eating in the locker room. Seriously, how else can Serena fill out her size 16 shorts without grazing at her stall between matches? He went after Maria Taylor.
So now she's a sow. Damn, this motherfucker had a chain with that one. I mean, speaking of fat underachievers, you don't have a primetime show.
Oh my God. I didn't know he said that about Serena.
And now I think she has overtaken the most majors now, or Grand Slams.
Serena is the Michael Jackson of tennis. She's the MJ of tennis, the Michael Jordan, the Michael Jackson. That's her already.
Both of them put together.
Both of them. Come on. She was pregnant, winning titles, pregnant.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think she got 23 Grand Slams, and the previous
look, folks,
record was 22.
When we talk about this motherfucker being anti-black, when we talk about him being self-hating, this is exactly it. Look, he is going in on this black woman who is, and I'm not trying to get into, I don't want to get too deep into this, but imagine yourself.
You could argue she's one of the best female athletes of all time.
You could argue she's one of the best athletes of all time. Tennis is hard. Tennis is hard.
I mean, certainly the most dominant.
This woman has dominated tennis. You can say that she hasn't dominated as she at peak Serena. The level of peak Serena in terms of dominance, probably about 3 or 4 years now that she hasn't been at that peak, but she still got wins. She still still won tournament. But peak Serena Williams, 10 years before that.
Oh, you knew if she showed up, she was winning.
If she showed up, it was about who's getting second place.
It was like Tiger probably more dominant than Tiger in his prime.
She was more dominant than Tiger.
Because I think he was winning 25% clip.
You know what? I would say, honestly.
It might be close. I'm not sure. This tennis is close. I think they're close. You got it's a tournament every time. It's not set number of holes like golf. Yeah. So probably a little more strenuous.
They're close in the fact that look, this is what This is what was so unbelievable about Serena and Tiger in the way that they changed their sports respectively. In golf, for you to be like 8, 9 under at one point, won you tournaments.
This cat's out here like 20, 22.
Tiger Woods came into the picture, and if you weren't 14, 15, 18, 19, 20 under, you didn't stand a chance because that's where he was going to be at on average. He made it to the point that now winning tournaments in golf in 2022, you got to be under like 16, 17 to win. That's what Tiger made. He forced golf to change for cats to get way better because now it's a science to them now.
And they were changing courses and all that kind of shit, trying to, even out the playing field.
They were trying to level the playing field with Tiger. He was killing them so bad.
And he had that shitty ass Nike equipment.
With some old half-baked Nike golf clubs out there just working everybody. Not knowing that Nike was really, they selling you the garbage golf clubs. They got scientists working with him to get his golf clubs made perfectly. His shit was top of the line. They're using space shuttle material on his shit. You know what I mean?
Oh man!
But look.
And let's not even start on the money.
Serena did the same thing in women's tennis. She made it so now it is normal to see these ridiculous spreads in sets and games won because she was winning them and wasn't nobody. You win one set, she win all the rest. You ain't even get close. But look at what they did to Serena in her sport. What they done to Serena in her sport is truly one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in terms of how an athlete has been treated. That's why she fucking comes at them sideways. Like, y'all better respect me. Because they've been disrespecting her from day one. They've been disrespecting her and her sister, who changed your sport, made your sport an international sporting juggernaut. Because look, you can talk about all that prestige, all that shit. I never gave a fuck about no Wimbledon. I never gave a fuck about no Wimbledon, no French Open. I didn't give a shit about none of that.
Well, yes, it's a country club sport. Them on it. But yeah, they got the country club prices or purses, I should say. It's always been expensive to play, but cats weren't getting this kind of money until they came around.
This was the paradigm shift when they got into the game, because these were two girls from Compton, California. They were from where the Bloods and Crips are from. Just like Michael Jackson was from Gary, Indiana, which is the equivalent of Compton, California in the Midwest.
Yeah.
That's what Gary, Indiana was the murder capital of the world for decades.
A fucking armpit right there, man.
Chicago wasn't even close. Yeah, Chicago ain't never even been the murder capital. That's the crazy thing. Shit. But these are people who come into a field and they dominate it like you've never seen before. And what do they get for it? Ridicule, fucking criticized, haters. They get haters. They get haters that hate so hard that it's almost laughable. That's what Serena was going through. And look, and this is real. As a black person, you support Serena because Serena is fighting an uphill battle in the court of the public opinion of these people who are involved at the highest level of these sports, whether it's the media, whether it's the boards, the country, all these country club, high society motherfuckers. Like, she's fighting that. They're the ones who are saying this kind of thing. So as another fellow black person, why would I talk down on you? Like, why would I talk about you in such a disrespectful manner? It doesn't matter if I don't agree with your politics or your perspectives or nothing. The fact that you're out there doing what you do and being successful is enough for me to draw a line somewhere.
Yeah. 100%.
And say, I won't talk about you in a negative light in this way, because you are doing something that is really for the benefit of everyone. It's going to make everybody's opportunity at finding these avenues to grow their own passion for the sport. It's going to help everybody in that regard.
Yeah,
whether it's people who are. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm gonna always accentuate the positive. Like you said, if I don't agree with something you talk about, just act like I didn't hear it. I'm just gonna talk about how great you are.
If I don't agree about something, we can have that conversation at another time.
Yeah.
But as it pertains to what I'm going to put out,
going out of my way to bring it up.
These people, no, I'm not going to do that. No, you can't. You can't. And that's why black people do not fuck with Jason Whitlock, because this is what you do to somebody of your own creed. This is how you attack them. You don't even talk about her game on the field. You talk about she's fat, she's lazy, she's entitled, this and that.
Like, damn,
motherfucker, she's earned whatever entitlement she has. Through fucking blood, sweat, and tears.
If she's doing all this and she's still fat, imagine how. I mean, she might have 50 Grand Slams if she was, a skinny broad.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, look, all them skinny, and no disrespect, no offense. All these skinny white girls was chasing her. These Russians, these Europeans, these Italians, the ones who created the sport. They're chasing her, a black girl from Compton, USA. And she's dominating them. And she is humiliating them with her play. Not personally, with her play. She's humiliating them. They look like amateurs next to her. She's on another level. They can't even comprehend. So now they got to go back to the lab and get better. And that makes the sport better.
What's crazy, I don't think she's even like that big. I think she's like 5'9".
Bro, I shot my shot at Serena. I met her in New York back in 2010. I met Serena Williams in New York at a charity event for one of my old teammates, Tutan Reyes, up in New York for his Beyond the Burrows charity. And I shot my shot. I think I got cotton blocked. I'm not gonna front. Her group seen me and her talking at the bar, and they came over and swooped her up. She had like 6 people with like phones and they just swooped her up. I was like, fuck. I was like, no.
You was ready to sign the NDA or whatever you had to do.
Hey, whatever you want, baby. You got it. You got it. And I guarantee you I'm putting a seed in there. I guarantee it.
Getting that gas station,
superhuman.
Getting that gas station Viagra, and I'm putting in work.
Shit, I'm talking about we going straight. I mean, it's not coming out. I'm sorry.
Whatever they say, 4 hours on the Viagra, all 4 hours.
I got a picture. You know what? I got a picture of when me and her met too. Oh, let me see. It's on my Instagram. Yeah, I got a picture when we met because we were at the bar chilling, talking, and I'm like, and I didn't want to we were just talking, something on TV, something that was on the TVs, and I didn't want to because my first I was thinking to myself, bro, get her number right now, get her number right now.
Yeah, you don't know how long this gonna last.
Because I was just like, she came here with a group of people, and she's probably only making an appearance, so let me get her number right now. And we just was talking, and I didn't end up asking her for it. And then her people just came in and started and swooped her up. And I was like, I got a little bit nervous. I was like, man, should I just jump back up in there and say, hey, before you go, let me get your cell phone number real quick. Probably should have. But anyways, let me find this picture real quick. I'll show y'all. I'll show you people. I didn't know I had all these pictures on here. Shit. Let's see. I think I'm close. Maybe not. Here it is.
I'm about to say that one might have been my background. Okay.
Yeah, buddy. Your boy was like, I'm shooting that shiz out right now, cuz.
Hey. Chef Curry, buddy. As soon as I cross half court. Yep.
Hey, I'm telling you, I was like, man, let me get this number real quick. Shit, but could have been a different situation, but hey, it's all good. I'm here. But no, the point of this really is that you don't take shots at people who are doing good and who are part of your community. part of your culture. Like, you don't do that, and that's what he did. But let's.
Now, I will say this also: you also can't ignore when they fuck up.
Yeah, and you can't ignore when they fuck up, and that's the thing. But that's for everybody, right? No, nobody. You shouldn't overlook when your culture, your community of people does wrong. You know, like, and I hate to like separate people into like races, but every race kind of has that self dignity for their own kind that you don't want to see your people doing negative shit. You don't want to see your people doing negative. So when it happens, you can't ignore it. You can't just ignore it and act like it hasn't happened.
Yeah, it sucks to air out that dirty laundry in public, but it's got to be done.
Exactly. Let's continue.
But she did,
saying she
none of that.
Yeah.
owed her standing at ESPN to physical beauty. Then he attacked Katie Nolan, quote, for also benefiting from physical beauty, saying that it transformed Nolan from bartender to seven-figure personality, Emmy Award winner, and the darling of aroused bloggers and TV critics willing to ignore her pedestrian humor and inability to execute live television. He also went after longtime NFL reporter Alex Flanagan, saying she has no clue what she just watched. NBC knows that. They pay a producer to explain to her. Producer should be fired, period. Plus, he added, fire Alex Flanagan's sideline producer. Sideline Barbie didn't ask Hasselbeck or Carroll about the whole team going downfield to block on hit and run. He also had a video on his Facebook that he and his team titled, Emotional Entitled Women Are Ruling America. Once again, I reiterate.
Hey, like, honestly,
this is such a crazy concept that.
What is he talking? What are all
that beautiful women succeed in entertainment? That is crazy to me. Like, come on, dude. I mean, how many?
I don't understand what is all of this? Like, bro, you didn't get no pussy when you was growing up. You didn't get no pussy, like in your adult life. Like, what's going on? Why are you hating on women? You hating on women? You hating on black folks? Why are you such a hater? Why are you such a hater?
Hating on good-looking people.
You hating on pretty people, like
don't matter what you are. This motherfucker is like stink meaner.
If you're doing anything and being successful, he hates you. Just remember that. He hates you.
You know, I wouldn't even consider myself successful until he hated on me.
Exactly. I wouldn't consider it's like, you know what? I got like that badge of honor feeling, like I feel like I accomplished something when Candace Owens blocked me on Twitter. I said, you know what?
I've arrived.
I now know that I have some clout. She blocked me. But this guy here, I mean, shit, it's almost like, is there anybody he don't hate? Let's keep going. But again, we still don't know what this is about. Why are they fighting? I don't know.
Right. Stein and Whitlock, birds of a feather. But with Portnoy, here's the story and the beef between them. Barstool Sports, Portnoy's company, put up then deleted a video of Stein trolling localities in Vegas. The company had to take it down, and Stein claimed they were afraid to keep my content up. So Portnoy tweeted, STFU, we are owned by a gambling company. We've had roughly 9,000 training sessions not to post stuff like this because regulators don't like it. Go back to whatever hole you crawled out of. He then featured another insane clip of Stein trolling protesters with this tweet. This guy, anybody who does this is a POS. I don't care what side of any issue you're on. If this is how you conduct yourself, you're a POS. I already apologized slightly to Stool Sales Guy for not researching him before responding. So Whitlock wrote a piece to defend his co-worker, writing, Dave Portnoy is a fraud. He has no core values, no defined set of beliefs. He has no redeeming qualities other than his wealth. Remove his money, and he wouldn't have a friend in this world. Portnoy responded with 2 words that were foul. Easily could have come up with something better.
That's great.
Boy. Oh, shit.
The only thing worse, he could have said, your mama.
Yo mama, motherfucker. He said, "You're fat."
He took it back to elementary school. Oh wow.
Oh man, hey, bro. But you know what's crazy about this is that probably cut Whitlock deep. That probably cut him. That's probably cut him deep. That's why he's making all these videos on Portnoy now. That makes sense. But here's the thing. This shit ain't had nothing to do with him. And he jumped in it. Yeah. It had nothing to do with him. Nothing. Other than the fact that Whitlock and Stein.
He came to the defense of his buddy. Yeah. His coworker.
It had nothing to do with him. And hey, I don't give a fuck. Hey, look.
If you jump in here, you might catch some strays.
Hey, you sure you want that smoke all week, bro? Like all week? Nah. I'm gonna go ahead and let him handle that. He's got it. He's got it. I think he didn't get in on that AOC thing, so now he wanted to get him some of this one because it was Portnoy and Stein apparently. Now he put a video up of Stein trolling, which I've seen one of those videos on Twitter before, where he's just trolling, like he was doing some dumb shit. I mean, it was some dumb shit. I don't give a fuck if I'm doing a show or not. It was dumb. It was some dumb, like he shows up to these city council things and he's dressed up as a caricature in each one, just acting out. It's like some Tom Green shit from back in the day.
Okay.
But it's like, but it's purely political, which is what makes it annoying because you could be funny like that and just leave out the politics of it. And, and people I wouldn't mind it, but it's just like, come on, dude. Like people, this is what keeps people angry at each other, because you do these type of things. But Jason Whitlock didn't have anything to do with this, and now he's catching that smoke. And he got sniped with this one. He got a sniper bullet with this one. That cat was just hiding. He was just hiding around the corner like, you're fat. Oh, Lord.
Why does that still work this day and age?
Oh my God.
It's so easy.
I know. All right, let's keep going. We've been going for a long time on this one.
Frankly, it's pathetic, but that's what he went with. However, Whitlock, who does delete a lot of his tweets, he really does, because he goes from one company to the next to the next. Forgot to delete this one.
Obviously, Dave Portnoy and what he built at Barstool Sports inspired me. And whatever kind of deal Barstool ends up signing with Travis Hunter just goes to speak to how disruptive Dave Portnoy and Barstool Sports have been. Dave Portnoy, the founder of Barstool Sports, is he the most important person in sports right now? And for the first time, I think ESPN started in the late 1970s, and they've had no rival at any point in their history. He's actually disrupting things. He's shaking the apple cart.
To which Jason Whitlock responded, I used to be a big fan of Howard Stern's. He sold out too.
Antifa, to me, is the modern day KKK.
That's what people with no compass besides money do. Colin Kaepernick was my favorite quarterback. I could go on forever about things and people I used to support. People sell out. I move on. Clearly not. Here's the thing. Jason Whitlock calling someone else a sellout is rich. Super rich. As author and journalist Jeff Pearlman wrote, listen, I have many mixed feelings on Portnoy, but I'd take him over Whitlock any day of the week. Whitlock is the literal picture of fraud, the literal picture of huckster. The guy was once a legit journalist. Then he realized if he played to the MAGA crowd, his shelf life would magically increase because there's nothing those people love more than having an African-American accomplice to make them say, how can I be racist when ... There is no one in media with less authenticity than Whitlock. Nobody. Ever. It's effing pathetic. Portnoy, the founder of Barstool, sued Insider in early 2020.
Okay.
Didn't pull any punches there.
And I think that's a good spot to stop on this because I think they're about to go into the whole Barstools. There was like a sexual assault story or something about that with Portnoy, which isn't really what we're talking about here. So I'm not going to because I don't want to get into a conversation about that. But this motherfucker said Antifa is a modern day KKK. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. This is what I'm talking about, bro. And then, I mean, look, you're in the wrong when white folks is even like, yo, you're a fucking sellout, bro. When the white folks are like, you're a sellout, bro. You're a sellout.
This guy's on some other shit.
Essentially, what this boils down to, and again, folks, it was a thin day of news. So we fall on to this as a story to go down. But it's essentially this. David Portnoy and Alex Stein get into an argument over the fact that Portnoy pulled the video that he put up of Alex Stein. And so they go into a Twitter beef, which Twitter beef is just it's motherfuckers who sitting at their keyboards for fucking 3 hours, cussing each other out and posting fucking memes. That's what a Twitter beef is, essentially. Because what, they're going to go beat each other somewhere? No.
No, clearly not.
But in that they were having an argument amongst each other, Jason Whitlock, seeing an opportunity to pounce and to all of a sudden try and monetize this opportunity for himself, decides to interject into an argument that had nothing to do with him, and he got called fat, so now he's on a crusade. That's what it is. That is literally what this is. That's what this is. And that is essentially the kind of waste of time that turns into a news story, because these are people who have platforms, these are people who have money, and they can't stand to have their ego tested, not even for a moment.
Yeah, stay your ass over there. Stay the fuck out of this shit. Or you go catch these strays.
Yeah, he want all the smoke, and he don't know what they done wrapped up in a blunt.
She got nothing to do with his ass.
Ain't got nothing to do with him. But anyways, at the end of the day, look, Jason Whitlock we know who he is. That's why when he's doing this, that's why it's so funny. It's so hilarious because we know who he is. He is not somebody who 99% of serious Black people, or maybe even white folks for that matter, are going to give their time of the day when it comes to him talking about people being sellouts. Like that shoe don't fit. It don't fit. It don't fit for Portnoy the way it fits for you. Okay. Portnoy is clearly a capitalist. You are, you are damn near a troll to Black folk.
Portnoy doesn't put himself out there as anything other than what, he's being called
what
right
his
now.
business shows him to be.
Yeah.
And, and that's where he leaves it. So, I mean, whatever. This was unnecessary drama from Jason Whitlock, but I wouldn't expect any less. Moving on. Who you got here, Justin? Who you got? You a LeBron fan or you an MJ fan? Who you got?
Oh God.
I'm not talking about who would beat who in a game. I'm talking about who is, in your eyes, the greatest basketball player between them two of all time.
Oh, well, I got a Jordan jersey downstairs.
You ain't got a LeBron
jersey. No LeBron jersey. Well, I got a lot of his kicks, though. Fuck, man.
Shit, I got one pair of his fucking kicks, and them shits hurt my pinky toes.
I thought they're pretty comfortable. They got like really wide, like the foot box.
I think I had his first one.
Give me MJ. Give me MJ.
Okay. Well, Isaiah Thomas seems to think that LeBron is going to be a better GOAT than Michael Jordan. So, look, I will say this as full disclosure. I was not a Michael Jordan fan growing up. I will even say that I kind of hated on Michael Jordan. I would even say that's fair. because I was a big fan of the Mavericks and the Seattle Supersonics. Seattle Supersonics, my favorite player that back when in the Jordan era was Sean Kemp.
Oh, Rain Man.
And I remember a couple of years in a row, Jordan beat them in the Eastern Conference Finals. Was it Eastern Conference Finals? Yeah, Eastern Conference Finals. And then the semis. Maybe the first year was the semis. The second year was the conference finals. And I was really pissed about that. I was really bitter about that. So I always wanted Jordan to lose in every championship run they had. I literally was rooting against them. But, you know, as you get older, you get perspective. I was like, well, you know what? Michael Jordan is really that guy. He's really that dude. And I was a fan of, you know, and I see somebody in the chat. Yeah, I was a Gary Payton fan as well. I like Gary. I just like the Supersonics. They were my team.
They had a good squad. Them Detlef
They had
Schrempf.
a good squad. Detlef Schrempf.
There's some good cats over there.
Sam, who was it? Sam, I forget the dude. He looked like Busy Bone off Bone Thugs. He had the big perm.
But, you know, a lot of cats just ran into that buzzsaw.
And that's what it was. They ran into that buzzsaw that was the Chicago Bulls that you just wasn't going to beat. They were just too damn good with Jordan on it. But, you know, this debate has gone on forever. Who is better, Jordan or LeBron? I mean, I don't think that it's a question. I think that Jordan is Sam Perkins. I knew I was saying it. I knew that's who it was, Sam Perkins. Yeah, thank you, chat. That's who was the cat with the Jerry curl that look, or with the perm that looked like Busy Bone. No, I'm sorry, Wishbone off of Bone Thugs. I feel like it's not. I don't feel like this is necessarily that much of a debate. I feel like Michael Jordan is a better all-around player than LeBron is. And I feel like if you're going to compare anyone to Michael Jordan, and they're actually very close to being literally, he might be a footstep behind Jordan, it's Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
It's Kobe. Kobe is the closest thing to Jordan that there's ever been.
Well, I mean, he certainly
And
mimicked
he's
him.
like, and he fashioned his game after Jordan. His game looks like Jordan's game with his own personal character and flair to it. But LeBron, I've always felt like LeBron was more of a Magic Johnson type, because there are deficiencies in LeBron's game that are known. He's not. I mean, I wouldn't say that LeBron is a great three-point shooter. He's not a great three-point shooter. He is below average three-point shooter. He is a great scorer, great assist man, great physicality. He plays good defense, but he is not. He scores in the vicinity of the rim better than I would say. I would give him that over Jordan. He scores within 10 feet of the rim better than, probably more than Jordan. I wouldn't say better. I would say he scores within 10 feet more than Jordan would, because Jordan had a three-point ball.
Well, he developed one, and also that wasn't important in his era.
Yeah, the mid-range jumper was dominant in Jordan's era, and Jordan got those buckets better than anybody, I think. Mid-range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, LeBron can get to the rack as good as anybody.
Yeah, LeBron gets to the rim
barreling.
Yeah, he's a damn tight end running into the paint. But let's listen to this. Let's react to this undisputed video. Isaiah Thomas says LeBron is the GOAT over Michael Jordan. Skip and Shannon Sharp debate.
Will be the all-time leader in points scored in the NBA, and he has by the time he retires. Yesterday, Thomas tweeted one of the reasons why, saying that LeBron, quote, will be the all-time leader in points scored in the NBA, and he has never been viewed as a score-first player. Shannon, what do you think here? Does Isaiah have a...
I don't think that matters. I don't. The stats, look, man, the stats only go so far. he can be the all-time leading scorer, but does that mean he's better than Jordan? No, it means he's the all-time leading scorer.
Yeah, if being the all-time leading scorer is what solidifies him as the GOAT, then why isn't he taking that from Kareem?
Yeah, and then, I mean, if you look at historically, well, at least I'll use this person as an example, Allen Iverson was a hell of a scorer too. But Allen Iverson, usually when he scored a lot of points, they lost. So, I mean, there's different ways to look at it, but let's keep going.
Good point.
He does, because when we think of great scoring, LeBron James has the 5th highest scoring average in NBA history, and only Wilt Chamberlain has a higher field goal percentage. So it's Jordan, Wilt, I think Elgin Baylor, Kevin Durant, LeBron James. Kevin Durant is about 27.2. LeBron James is 27.1. And LeBron James has averaged at least 25 points a game for 18 straight seasons. You see, the notion is because he doesn't shoot the ball like a Kevin Durant from the 3, or his pull-up game is not as nice. He doesn't have a layup package like a Kobe or Mike that hangs in the air and the tongue hanging out all the way to the floor. He doesn't have any of that. All he does is consistently put the ball in the basket, game after game, year after year, for 19 seasons. You know, Skip, this is what I don't get. Nobody's ever said Tony Gwynn wasn't a great hitter. If I'm a baseball player, I hit 300 for 15 straight years, they're going to say I'm a great hitter. Now, Tony Gwynn never hit more than 17 home runs in a season. Is Tony Gwynn not a great hitter? Because he didn't hit the ball 500 feet? Because he didn't knock 50 home runs? Now, all of a sudden, that 300 average, the batting titles that he won, he's not a great hitter? So because LeBron James never gave you a 60, a 50, and a 40 in consecutive games like a Kobe did, or like a Mike did, all of a sudden people assume, well, he's not a great scorer. He doesn't do it in the fashion. And that's what it is. It's not flashy. It's really not. Now, he'll get you a highlight dunk here and there. He'll posterize somebody. But it's not flashy like Kobe. It's not flashy like MJ. He doesn't have the 3-range and the mid-range game that looks as good as a Kevin Durant. But the fact of the matter is, Skip, a record that many thought wouldn't be broken, he's on the cusp of doing it. And he's not done. He could possibly reach 40,000 points. And he led his team in assists every single year. So let that sink in. If Michael Jordan,
I mean, yeah, he's an assist man. But like I said, LeBron scores at the rim. Like, that's where he scores. He don't score, like, his volume comes within 10 feet of the rim. Which, I mean, he's physically a beast, so he can be that guy.
Right. Yeah.
But, I mean, that doesn't make him a better player, because when I think of the better player, I think that it also falls outside of you yourself as the player. What effect do you have on the team? LeBron has had problems with the chemistry of the teams he's on.
Yeah, he's not a great GM.
He's had problems with chemistry from the very beginning. Like, he has had those issues. And when they've been able to get their when he's been able to win championships, it's because he's had a player on his team outside of that, the year with Cleveland, which honestly, didn't he have Kevin Love that year too?
Yeah, Kevin Love and Kyrie, right? But they were both hurt.
That was the year that
in the playoffs,
he showed. That was the year that the year that they came back against the Warriors when they really shouldn't have, but they did come back. He brought them back. They won that championship. That was, to me, that was the soundest moment of his career. But Jordan had 6 of those.
That's hard to argue with.
When it was over for Jordan, when it was over for Michael Jordan in the NBA, which when I say that, I'm talking about Chicago Bulls, and then there is him as a player coach as with the Washington Wizards. I don't count that as Jordan, because that's not. It was just him. He was just coming back to help teach these young cats how to play ball. He wasn't there to be to take them to anything. He knew that. The last moment of Jordan's career was him winning the championship for his team. That was the last moment of his career.
With the
him winning the championship,
the shot over Byron Russell.
Over Brian Russell. I swear to God, I was screaming at the TV, offensive foul!
He pushed off.
Hey, he pushed that cat 5-10 feet. That cat went slide.
Right.
He just put his hand on his waist and just swept him by him. I mean, it looked like dude was on skates. And you just seen Jordan just.
Shit was wet too.
Game.
Blouses.
That is something that will live forever in the annals of the history of the NBA's greatest moments, because it was a truly great moment, because they were playing against a top tier team in the Utah Jazz that had Karl Malone and I mean, come on, bro. We feel bad for people like Karl Malone, maybe not Karl Malone, but John Stockton.
Damn.
John Stockton, Charles Barkley. You know what I mean? These guys who never could win a championship, and it was because of Michael Jordan. They couldn't get it done. Gary Payton.
Yeah, there was a lot of cats.
Didn't Gary get one with LA though? No, he didn't get one. He didn't get that with LA.
No, that LA super team was trash.
Yeah, that one was trash.
All the old cats.
Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing's Patrick Ewing, he became a hermit after his career because of Michael Jordan. That cat just disassociated from society. We stopped talking about him 2 weeks after he retired.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so many who could never taste ultimate victory because of Michael Jordan. I mean, a generation of players who were worthy of it. That's not what LeBron has done. LeBron hasn't done that. He hasn't been that force. Kobe was about 50% there. Kobe stopped some guys from winning.
Well, it's also hard if you're in both conferences. It's like it makes sense for Jordan and Kobe because they were always, Jordan was always in the East. So, the Knicks, John Starks, Patrick Ewing, they could never get out of there. Charles Barkley could never get out the East.
Yeah.
LeBron, I mean, you can just, if he's beating you, just wait a year, 2 years, and he'll be gone.
Yeah.
And then
you know what I mean? Because once LeBron don't get to the finals 2 years in a row, he's leaving.
He said, this team is not what I thought it was.
You know what I mean? First year, they don't make it to the finals. He goes to the owner and says, look, I'm picking the next cast y'all sign here. He picked the next cast they signed. They don't make it to the finals again, he's gone. Everybody who got signed there, they stuck there. And they ain't got no chemistry, they just stuck there.
Sorry, guys.
Look at Kevin Love. I mean, Kevin Love has got to be like, what the fuck happened to my career? Because as soon as LeBron left Cleveland, his ass was stuck there. He was stuck in that mug on a long contract.
Oof.
Just like, man. I mean, it was bad for them cats. But that's what, LeBron has not had that effect on the NBA like Jordan did. And that's one of the biggest reasons why, to me, Jordan is just a cut above LeBron, because he actually affected the hierarchy of power in the NBA by himself with his Chicago Bulls. They have him and Phil Jackson, Scottie Pippen, Tony Kukoc, Steve Kerr, all these cats. Dennis Rodman, they affected everything. Nobody could do nothing with it unless they were if they were in the picture. In the 1 year that he was gone, when he retired, the Bulls was gone after the first round. It was out the playoffs in a heartbeat. Because the piece that keeps them together, the glue that held them together was Michael Jordan. His effect was it reverberated the entire team. And you don't get that from LeBron. That's why LeBron can never be the greatest. He can never be the greatest because he hasn't had that effect. He willed them to a win 1 year because he was physically that dominant. But he has never made champions out of guys who he's never made champions out of guys who could never have gone there without him. He's never made champions of guys who didn't have the talent maybe to get there at all. And because those Bulls teams If you take Jordan away, you arguably Scottie Pippen's the most talented player. Scottie Pippen has never taken them to the finals. He got that chance when he went to Portland after Chicago. He was still in his prime. He ain't do shit. Nothing.
Now, hold on. Did he win that year with Della Vadova and like Tristan Thompson? There was a year where LeBron had a bunch of also ran cats. So from journeyman.
That was that year. I remember he had a bunch of journeymen in Cleveland, and they wouldn't win. And then when he came back to Cleveland after Miami, he got a championship with Kyrie.
Oh, okay.
And then that was just 1 year. Then he was like, I'm out.
I could have sworn he had one the first time around with a bunch of bums.
No, he went with a bunch of bums against San Antonio, and San Antonio swept their ass. But look, that to me, that part of the argument is where everything, no matter how many points he scores, that is the argument that trumps everything you can say about LeBron being a GOAT over MJ. Is that when you look at the effect that both guys have had on the league and on the teams they played for, it is clear as day that LeBron is not on his level. LeBron, because of his one championship, he can trump this argument. But it was, for the most of his career, the argument was that LeBron can't do it by himself. He can't do it with regular guys. He has to have superstars. And the thing is, nobody cares if you get superstars in a normal way, but when you actively seek out superstars for the purpose of ring chasing, now you're not seen as legitimate to a lot of people. And that's why Kevin Durant's championships don't mean nothing to nobody. Nobody cares that Kevin Durant won a championship. They don't care.
Especially if you jump on the best team already.
You jump on the team that just went back to back.
It's like,
you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
obviously you're going to win there. Like, shit, come on.
Nobody's giving you credit for that, you sucker.
At least go to the runner-up.
You know what I mean? At least, come on, dude. And look, that's why he made a smart decision staying in Brooklyn, because you'll be the center of that team. They can build around you, and if you're lucky enough to get into a NBA Finals as the leader of that team, then you will legitimize yourself as an all-time great. But I don't consider Kevin Durant an all-time great. I don't. Because when it came, the hardware on his fingers, he took the easy route, bruh. He took the easiest possible path. Let me get on a team a team, I don't know if that was the year they won 63 or not, but let me get on the fucking the clear and away best team in the NBA, and I'm one of the top 5 players in the league. Let me get on their team. And let me go act like it was a struggle for us to get to the finals. Like we actually struggled to get to the final. No, we know you didn't struggle. Like, that's not legit. That's not legit. It's on paper, he has his ring, but in the court of public opinion, that's not enough, my friend. You really did cut corners to get a championship.
If you add me and you to that team, they probably still win.
I could have been playing power forward on that team, and we would have been a championship team. You would have seen me on the side with the towel, just yeah.
Every night, 6 fouls.
Come true.
6 fouls, 5 boards, no other stats.
1 free throw. One made free throw. 6 fouls in 19 minutes. This guy's he's the heart of their defense, Jim.
But hard fouls. Like playoff fouls in the preseason.
This guy got the most suspensions in a season for a player on technicals. Jesus.
They'd be like, Draymond who?
For real. This dude's been suspended 36 times this year. He's missed a quarter of the games. He's an enforcer, Jim. He's an enforcer. He enforces the fucking paint. Yeah, that's right.
That's a valuable commodity in hockey.
For real. But no, it's definitely, that to me, that's where the difference in them lays. And I don't, points don't mean anything in that realm of thought. Like, it doesn't mean anything. But let's keep rolling so we can get into a little bit of film.
What to lead his team in rebounding. He was that's like Dennis Rodman. All of a sudden, Dennis Rodman known as a rebounder, and he's a rebounder. He's a rebound first guy. LeBron James is thought of as a pass first guy, and he's going to be the all-time leading scorer. Yeah, he's a great scorer. Not in the fashion that people like, but the numbers don't lie, Skip. This is not a longevity award because there are a lot of guys that did it, but they weren't scoring 25, 27, 30 points a game in year 17, year 18, year 19 like King James is.
Okay, it is my turn, and I got multiple problems with this whole argument.
Go ahead.
I'm going to start out with Isaiah. My man, Isaiah, I love him. I do. I thought he was a great player. He was a great.
Hey, Isaiah Thomas ain't never going to give Jordan his props after what he did to him on that Olympic team. Isaiah Thomas is he been bitter for decades over that, bro.
Right.
That hurt he took a piece of Isaiah Thomas's soul when he told them not to let him be on the Olympic team, on the Dream Team back in the 90s. Because that cat, I mean, that's the power that Jordan had. Jordan said, that ain't happening. I don't fuck with him.
I'd be pretty bitter too.
Yeah, I mean, I would be pissed too. He is bitter as shit, though. My God.
Great competitor. I've loved being on multiple shows with him. He's always been very kind to me, and I love that about him, and I honor that and appreciate that. But obviously, let's be 1,000% real here.
You about to say it.
Isaiah's got no use for Michael Jeffrey Jordan. They're arch rivals. They were. They're blood rivals. They were. And you know and I know what happened starting with the 1985 All-Star game. Michael's first. He felt like Isaiah and company, other veterans, froze him out of the game. And then Isaiah believed that Michael froze Isaiah out of even getting on the Dream Team. And that's probably true. Okay, so there are multiple layers of animosity operating here that, as we saw in the Last Dance documentary, it still operates. It's gotten bloodier than ever. So clearly, you have to look through this tweet from Isaiah. It's a Jordan hating tweet as he tries to make the case that LeBron is the GOAT. I'm sorry, the first narrative is so bogus to me because whoever said LeBron isn't a scorer, he's a natural born scorer.
Everybody. Everybody
within their
that.
blind.
No. Everybody knows LeBron can score. He's not a shooter, but he's a scorer. We all know that.
Yeah, you don't put up 27 a game without being a scorer.
LeBron gets to the basket, and he gets the calls at the basket that nobody gets. But he also gets physically assaulted near the rim every time he goes up. I'm telling you. And I don't blame them because he's big. He's a big dude for a power forward. And they got to be physical with him because he's physical coming into that rim. So they got to get physical with him. But anyways, Isaiah Thomas is bitter as shit here. I think that's what this boils down to. I think that's more of the argument here than anything else. And we're going to move on from this because, like I said, folks, it's a thin day today, folks. It's been thin. It's been thin, but we worked it out. See, we worked through it. I just feel like that argument, knowing now, putting this into context, I don't think this is an argument about whether LeBron's better than Michael Jordan. I think this is an argument about Isaiah Thomas stirring the pot because he's a hater of Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan bitched him out with the Olympics, and he still is salty about that. He must have been watching some old Dream Team footage and just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm about to tweet this shit to the world and see what happens.
This was supposed to be me.
We were supposed to be brothers. But anyways, I think that, I don't think that it makes much sense for us to like sit here and debate these, because that's what was weird to me about Shannon Sharp talking about all these statistics. I'm like, bro, nobody give a damn about no statistics. How many championships this cat got? How many moments does LeBron have compared to Jordan? It's not the same game when you look at it from that perspective. LeBron has moments, but he ain't got the moments like Jordan got. They make commercials off the moments that Jordan got.
Yeah.
Every year in the playoffs, NBA, where playoffs happen, where every year when you got the little piano playing and the slow-mo music, it's Jordan doing this shit. That's what it is every year. So that's what Jordan in his greatness brought to the game, that LeBron has a taste of that, but he don't have that. He's had a taste of it, but he don't have that. And that's not a knock on LeBron. He's the greatest of his era. That's as far as I will go with LeBron James. He's the greatest of his era. And I think that's as good as you could expect. Why would you be mad at that?
A top 3 to 5 player of all time at worst.
I'll put him in the top 5, but you can move him anywhere you want in there except for one, because sorry, you need a certain number of rings first to be able to go above like 2. And he only got one. He only got one. What, 2 rings? He got 2 rings, right?
No, LeBron got 4.
Oh, hell no.
He got at least
he got
3.
one in LA too. Oh my God,
he got at least 3.
LA. Man, that LA ring was some bullshit. That was some damn.
Hey,
let's see here. LeBron championships. LeBron James champions.
It's in his dresser.
He has 4.
Okay,
wow.
I knew it was at least 3. I thought it was 4.
2012, 2013. Yeah, so he had 2 with Miami. They won back-to-back years. And then he had 2016 with Cleveland. Then he had 2020 with LA, which was that LA one is one's kind of fugazi, but I'll allow it.
If everybody gonna show up, we might as well win.
Hey, you're right. You're right. He got 4. He's still 2 away from MJ.
And he went to something like 9 straight finals, maybe 10 even.
Yeah, but I mean, look, come on, bro. Going to the finals out of the Eastern Conference.
Only Bill Russell can match that.
Hey, that don't mean a damn thing. Not out the Eastern Conference, where the 8 and the 7 seed,
Oh yeah, lately
both had losing records.
Yeah, lately it's been all about the West. And
Western Conference has been the dominant conference. Honestly, in the past 25 years, the West has won the majority. I would say that I think the West has won more championships than anybody than the East in the last 25 years. Let me see. Eastern Conference, which is West, NBA championships.
So I don't think there's been any like dynastic teams out of the East lately.
No, the East ain't had shit.
I mean,
there's a reason why
the Heat had their little run
there for so long. He stayed there for so long because he knew that you go to the Western Conference, especially like from 2010, from 2008 to 2018, man, going to the Western Conference, if you don't win 50 games, you ain't got a chance.
I mean, that's like Brady being the AFC East all them years. Just a division full of trash quarterbacks. You know,
trash teams.
You know, you're always going to get to the dance. Like, just get to the dance.
The easiest path. You always going to be the home team in the playoffs.
Just get to the dance.
All right, let's look at some film here. We only got a few minutes. We went a long time on that Portnoy shit, but
sorry, guys.
But we're going to do a couple. We're going to get through this first drive for the Colts versus the Jaguars. Now, the Colts, they do have a solid offensive line from, guys like Quentin Nelson on there. I think they signed a couple of guys as well. The Colts got Matt Pryor at left tackle, Quentin Nelson at left guard, Ryan Kelly at center, Danny Pinter at right guard, and Braden Smith at right tackle. So they lost left tackle Anthony Costanzo. He retired. Costanzo had been there for a while. He was solid left tackle. Solid, not great, but pretty good.
Yeah, serviceable.
But the Colts are pretty much intact outside of that going into this season. Let's take a look here at some of their plays. All right, this is their defense up first. I'm sorry. Let me pull up the O. I thought to take out the ball first. I think the Jags actually score on this drive. Okay, Colts on kickoff return. All right, here we go. Colts offense. Let's take a look at them. Outside zone, play action, rollout.
Oh, gotta share it. Gotta share it.
Oh, shit. My bad. I did that again. Damn. I be forgetting about y'all. Sorry. I'm watching. I tell y'all what's happening. I'm watching.
Some good ass narration right there.
I'm gonna narrate it for y'all. Here we go. All right, so we got an outside zone or a play action rollout. So he's gonna play action outside zone here. Now Colts got a damn good running back. I forget his name.
Jonathan Taylor.
That's right. Dude he was
led the NFL last year, I think.
Yeah. I think he got that rushing title last year, that's surprising to ever say for the Colts. But let's take a look here at what we got going on. Okay, now this is how you want to look on an outside zone. Look at how all of the offensive linemen's shoulders are on the same angle as the running backs. But, being that this is a rollout, you don't have to do a ton. You just got to knock the guy across the face. The next defender over, you aim for their rib cage. Quarterback will roll out. Everything's on him.
This should be a plus for everybody.
Yeah, that's a plus for everybody.
It's hard to fuck up a rollout.
Yeah. It's like a ball gets batted.
Uh-oh.
Let's take a look. Okay, so
play action.
This looks pretty good from the right guard. He got his hands inside. He has good set. I think he set a little bit too flat here, but if he's not getting a hell of an upfield rush, then he'll be able to sit down on that. Got good combination block here with the left guard in the center, kind of playing like it's a run, but not really, because it's harder to kind of sell that when the center is covered up. Right. But you want to be physical in there to at least keep that defensive tackle on the line of scrimmage. You don't want him to push back at all. I think right here, I would be a little nervous being like this, being a little bit over, kind of aimed too far to the left with this, with our who is this? This is our tackle right here.
Left tackle, yeah. Oh, they're heavy set.
Big in here, huh? Okay,
they're heavy.
Gotcha. Yeah, you don't have any help. You're alone, all right? You don't have help. You don't want to overrun this. If you overrun this and he actually makes a hard inside move here, again, what happens when you get too far extended on any particular block? If you get opposite momentum coming that way, you have to open these hips up to be able to try and affect it, which is a losing proposition. But it looks good here. I don't like where his hands. I like where our right tackle's hands are here. I think he's way too open arm. Like his chest is open. He's already getting ready to strike him. And I'm willing to bet that this is probably where pressure comes from.
Buddy from the Packers, he was like this every play.
Yeah. I feel like this is where the batted pass is going to come from. Let's take a look.
Oh, geez.
This is pretty good right here. This is all good. This is what you want. This is actually good. This is a good pocket.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
That guy's wide. The technique may not be 100%, but you've got him. He's not compressing the pocket with his long arm, which is the goal of of a long arm. And he's ripping, and you're just keeping him upfield.
He's 8 yards away from the quarterback.
Yeah. He doesn't stand a chance. If he does, it's his fault. I guess I wagered correctly, because this is exactly where it comes from. Now, this situation here is all I can say to this right tackle is when you feel him jump, you yank on his jersey and pull him down. That makes these arms come down immediately. But that's that he also did get compressed a little bit there. So, that's something to think about. You want to keep him wide. All right. It's a nice little run.
Okay.
It's a nice run. Nice run. Let's take a look. Okay. This is good. I mean, he's on his angle, on his inside zone angle. There's a couple of ways you can do this. You can set your angle with your first step and do this. You got to get under this guy, lift him up, so that your center can feel like he can get off of that block if he needs to, because here's your callbacker. Now, if this guy shoots, you would take him too. And it looks like he wants to shoot right there. That's Miles Jack. And even though he does have, it looks like, I think, yeah, he has a lead right here, which that's a hard ask for a tight end.
Wow.
To get up in there and lead block it. Woo. That's a hard ask. Now,
that's
this is
tough
good
right there.
here. Yeah, he's coming. I mean, look where he's coming from.
It's almost like a wham.
Yeah, I feel like that. Like because he's going right in here. So now this is good. I think that this guy jumps outside quick like that. You just, as a guard, I would be thinking just like this. Just keep him out there.
Just let him stay where he's at.
He might trip over these feet here, or he might, try and react back over the top, but he's taking himself out the play. He's not in the play anymore. So we've got our linebacker does, our center does actually come off onto our linebacker who shot the gap, 44. Which is good.
We got some trouble here.
What's happening?
So the double team gets split. They both leave.
Oh, they both left.
And there's no way that tight end's picking up the fucking D tackle. I mean, he might run into him because he's just there, but this is not.
How did that happen? Oh, okay. This linebacker, who was actually his responsibility, shot the gap. And the center, like I said, you got to take that. If he shoots that gap, I would take that. You might be wrong, actually. You might get a minus for this because your linebacker is still playing over the top.
Yeah.
And now you've given this guy up to him. So you've switched assignments essentially, but he don't know that because he's tight end. He don't know.
Yeah.
He didn't even know who the fuck he was supposed to block.
Even if he did know, he couldn't block that guy.
Yeah, and even if he did know, he's not blocking this guy. But yes, they both leave, and that is. Ooh, that's actually a tough situation right there. If I'm a coach, I don't know. I mean, you got to give him the minus, right? Because he's going to get a minus because he didn't go block him. That's who he's supposed to get.
Sometimes they got a better play than we do.
And really,
if you don't,
should have made the play in the backfield.
True. But I mean, if you don't block 44, he's going to blow that shit up too.
Yeah, 44 would have definitely blown it up.
In a gap scheme, you got to block the gap. You
got to block the gap. Yeah, you got to block the zone. It's not a man, but hold on now. Was this man though? This was man because this was a man block. Man blocked. This wasn't zone.
Yeah, this is almost.
You got a lead. You got a lead here. No, this was man blocking. Double team. Man. And these two take them two, and running back has him.
So this is like counter, but the tight end's the puller.
Yeah, this is a tight end trap, basically, or tight end power. Oh, that's so terrible. That's why you don't give tight ends. That's why you don't give tight ends this kind of assignment.
But yes,
yeah,
I think you do have to swap.
The puller.
Yeah, you have to swap assignment, but it has to be. In this instance, it has to be the left guard that sees.
The left guard would stay on, and
he has the C44 coming and know the center's gonna. Yeah, that's the only way to do it clean because you don't ever want to leave the defensive lineman.
This is the guy you don't let free. You don't let the D lineman free. That's the last guy you let go. But I mean, this is like worst case scenario. This guy shoots the gap.
Yeah,
he shoots the gap immediately because he sees this. That's why he's shooting it. He sees this and he sees this. So when he sees, and he has to follow this guy.
Exactly.
So,
wow.
They
it still didn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, they still ended up making it work.
Golly, that's a tough ask.
Okay, this is. Oh God, there. Wentz, Carson Wentz. You never had a chance. All right, that's pretty good right here. He's got his arm inside. He's got leverage on it. This guy is reading. He's not pressing upfield, so he's reading it, and you kind of want that because you're passing the ball. Now he's playing it like at the run. That's what you want right there. Everybody's set on their guy. Everybody here is doing exactly what you're supposed to do. This looks good because you're selling the run enough to where these guys are engaged fully, expecting a run, even to this point with the linebacker off the edge.
Exactly, because that is not a pass rushing stance by that guy. So they've sold it
for the run.
They sold it.
Now you see how he makes that dramatic move. He has to get back outside because he's supposed to be out here. He's supposed to be out there. His tight end just drops the ball.
Nah, I'm good.
The O-line gets a plus though. Okay, we got inside zone again. They get stuffed on this one. Let's see. Oh, was this fourth down? This was fourth down.
Oh, okay, fourth down.
They try to be like the Jaguars. We used to go for it on 4th and 1 against the Colts just out of principle. We'd be like, these motherfuckers cannot stop us. All right, 4th and 1. Yeah, they're gonna put everybody in the box. We're gonna get 10 yards on the run.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. That's how we used to think about it. This is good right here. That's pretty good. Now this is tight ends.
Doing what tight ends do.
The key of the play, because this is inside zone, right? Inside zones will cut back 80% of the time. This is the lane that cuts back. He is getting out leveraged by this defensive tackle or D end. And what he should be doing here is he should be fighting to get this arm underneath and across this guy's body. He's trying to rip through this defender like he's a defensive end. He's trying to rip through and get his arm inside, his left shoulder inside, to pry it open, and to keep him from closing in on this gap, because this is his gap. He's responsible for this. You have to cut him out of it. He doesn't know how to block like that because he's a fucking tight end. He's not taught how to actually perform a backside cutoff block, a backside block. And that's why they didn't get this. So this is by design a bad play call, because you're putting a player who does not have the knowledge or the skill set to perform a block on the most crucial block on the play. Because on every zone run, inside or outside, the backside gap to the ball is the most crucial block in the play. Because if he can't cut back, then in the front side gets collapsed anyway. And these guys are all playing their gaps. They all have their gaps. So you're not getting outside of this.
Oh, yeah,
that's just not going to happen.
Everyone's out leveraged there.
This is where you have to win. And that's where, by design, a lot of times zone is meant to just push the defense one way and then take it back the other, because there's going to be natural gaps in there. And that's what ends up, now you can't win because the backside is not blocked. Even if he breaks through this arm tackle, you've got another defender here and another defender here. And they've got a little bit of movement here, but not enough.
And it's still probably a holding penalty.
Yeah, and then he's probably going to get called for holding. That could have been easily called a hold. So that is going to be it for this one. That's a short one, but hey, I'll say right now, though, looking at this, the Colts look better than every line we've looked at so far. And if we had more time, maybe we'll watch another drive of them next week before we get into the other team. But they look pretty good. They looked uniform in how they blocked, which has not been what we've been seeing from a lot of teams to this point. A lot of teams look like motherfuckers doing their own shit. Everybody doing their own shit.
It's going rogue.
Just going rogue on us. So that's going to be it for us here tonight on Lineman Life. We went a little bit over tonight. Didn't think we would, but we actually ended up, having a pretty lengthy discussion about some things. But make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already done so. Subscribe to the channel. And if you want to be a part of our fantasy football league, hit that join button. You can join for as low as $1.99 a month. And that will get you a free pass into our fantasy football league that we are going to present next week as well. So make sure you do that if you want to be a part of it. Should be fun this year. We're going to have a fantasy football expert who's going to be working with us from CBS Sports. So that's going to be something we want to integrate into the show as we move on. But we do appreciate you guys for being in here with us. I'm your reserve lineman, Uche Nwaneri, with Justin Blaylock, my co-host. We will catch you all on the next Lineman Life Live. Peace.